camera crew to go down to the Lizzie Borden house in Fall River. So I said, sure, I'll do this, you know. So we're using it as a part of their October Halloween, you know, da-da-da-da thing, you know. And a lot of times I don't like to volunteer or submit or agree to do anything, because a lot of times people want to poke fun at the things that are spiritual. They want to poke fun at ghosts, which the ghosts don't like that, because they'll poke fun back. But you won't like their fun because it's different from our fun. So I said I would do it. So we go down, and you know, they like to have you there early because, you know, they have to be certain that the footage is going to be done, that they have it on the 11 o'clock news, they have to do the editing, they have to do all that. So they're always on you to be extra early. So we get to Fall River, we're at the Lizzie Borden house. As it turned out, some of her ancestors from California were visiting and were actually guests, because it's a guest house, B&B, they were actually there. So I had a chance to talk with them, and we were talking about the history of the place and on and on. And I had brought all my little tools with me. I had the divination rods and had all the things. We were in the actual room where everything had taken place. So they had all the night camera equipment, they had everything there. So we're in the room, and I'm like really calling her spirit into the room, calling all the spirits into the room. And I'm over by the bed, and you know, the room, all of a sudden, it just gets really, really cold. And a lot of times you can tell if there's a presence of a spiritual energy in a room, the temperature will change. Sometimes it could be very, very hot. You know, there's nothing coming out of the radiator but dust. Other times it can be very, very frigid cold, and you're trying to decipher, determine what's happening here, because I know that something shifted. Did you feel it? Did you feel it? Did you see this? And a lot of people just won't engage because it's something we're not used to. So I have the rods, and the things are really, really happening, and they're recording all this. It's all on camera. All of a sudden, we're there, and I call her spirit into the room. We look over towards the door. You can like feel an energy going toward the door. There was no wind, nothing, no fans, radiators, nothing moving. The door opens, and then the door closes. And the camera person said, "Oh shit." So it was on Channel 7 News. I have a copy of the tape somewhere. And that evening, a couple of evenings later, they showed it on the news. Of course, they edited out what he said, but he was sitting off to the side. He was really, really terrified. So it's interesting how things enter. And I invite you to really think about, those of you who live in haunted houses, and you know, there are a lot of ghosts around, because if there's any place where an energy or an entity or a person passed away and didn't, you know, transit or transition, they are there, because keep in mind, energy never dies, it just transforms into something else. So that transformation is possibly a ghost.